And hello there. Welcome to the alphabet game where we have our free spirit conversations. I'm Dr. Brenda, sociologist, financial coach, founder of Etsy Women Finances, where fun and finances meet, and my fun partner here, Janine McJanet.
Woohoo! Oh, okay. Do I introduce myself now? We're not really that you're sort of slow off the mark. I'm just was sharing things out. I'm Janine McJanet, and I'm an integrative health coach. I'm a hypnotherapist and soon to be rapid transformational therapist, as well as I'm a poet. So I love words, and I know Dr. Brenda loves words, which is why we got together. And my specialty is really in women's empowerment and play. And Brenda, you know, her specialty is in fun and finances. So what better combination, what better beautiful, bodacious and bold combination could we have? And I love how you put a B up just for today behind you, Brenda. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. You took my word. I'm coming at you from South Padre Island in Texas, where we've had a little bit of rain today, but I had a bonfire. Hey, bonfire at the beach last night. And, you know, it's February. I grew up in Wisconsin, so I am just always thrilled to be able to be outside without a hat and mittens and have the water by me. And you're coming
It's funny, but there's a word coming up now, and I think it says bitch. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful.
See that on YouTube?
Yes, it means beautiful, intelligent, thriving, courageous human. Bitch.
So, and you're coming at us from the deep, dark tundra.
I'm coming from this beautiful day today, and it is it is winter up in the Yukon in northern Canada near Alaska. And see this? I can buy myself flowers, and I did.
Did you do that?
I can buy myself flowers. Hey, let's go, BB.
Okay, B. Yes, last week we did the A, so now we're doing B, and our goal is to get through the letter Z by the end of the year. So we got a bunch of weeks coming up, and then we're going to slow down to twice a month. So, okay. You had mentioned right before that maybe I should give you a word.
Yes. And I'm just, do that. Let me just share something, because I just shared last week's recording into my group. So I want you to choose a word and talk about it while I reshare that.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what my word is? You don't know what my word is. My word, you ready?
Yep.
Is badass. B is for badass. You did not have that written down.
I totally did.
No.
I did.
So I'm rereading a book. You know how that is? You've got like a book and you read it years ago, and then it's like, you know what? I'd like to reread this one again, and it's by Jen Sincero, and it's You Are a Badass at Making Money. And it is really about it's all about our mindsets. And as a coach, you know, I help coach women on their mindsets, but it's also my own mindset that I have to be very in tune to, very aware of, and make sure that I have my own badass attitude about money. You know, it's really about believing in yourself, being bold, and you know, going after what we deserve, you know, not what we're willing to accept, but going after all that stuff. So that's been the word I've been playing with. Badass.
Well, badass is good. And it was thrown around, especially like I think about 5 years ago. It was in every title of every book and every event. It was be a badass, be a badass, be a badass. But there's plenty of things behind that. Like the power that we can bring to do anything, just the intention, the beautiful boldness that we can just sort of put out there. So yeah, badass is a good one.
Yeah. Hey, do we have
And
any, did anybody volunteer any B words? Anybody out there? If you
well, I did get one earlier this morning,
you're gonna jump
and
to that.
and I'm going to share it now. Can you just tell me what page you're sharing this to? Because it's not on your business page, the live. I can't find it.
It should be on my Dr. Brenda Money page.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Brenda Money Coach. Yep, it's live. I'm there. Now you may have to log in as your page and then go into Dr. Brenda Money. We've done this before.
I got it.
Okay.
That's funny. Yeah. Got it. Good.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, share.
And,
Okay,
you
so
know,
my word that somebody came up with today, and I did kind of let it out of the bag a little bit before. That word is bitch. And some people think, oh, don't say that, it's a bad word. You can, and I just gave an acronym for it because I love acronyms as well.
oh,
But
no, you didn't.
hey, what did you say?
Oh, no, you didn't. You created an acronym for bitch.
Well, I just said that you didn't even catch it right at the beginning of this live. We are beautiful, intelligent, thriving, courageous humans. Bitch. Right?
Oh, man.
Ah,
Okay.
one up.
Do it again. Say it again.
Beautiful, intelligent, thriving, courageous humans.
Oh, wow. See, look at, I mean, Janine, you're just full of these secret, mysterious surprises.
But it is, people used to use the word bitch. And I had a conversation this morning. I have called my kids bitch, and my mother called me a bitch once. And see your face there? It's like, that's not nice. That's not proper. What is the belief around it? When my mom called me a bitch, she did it once. And I just thought, oh, there's no love there. She doesn't love me. I feel unloved. But bitch, like certain other words, have grown through the years and the meaning of it. And so when I look at my daughter and I said, that was really bitchy. So it's an adjective. It's also a noun, right?
It is.
And you can do things that are bitchy. And it's not a bad word because there's the negative connotation that you do something bad to somebody, which is bitchy. But then being a bitch is holding on to here's my next word, is what you really believe in and standing up for what you want and how you want to be. People will look at you as a bitch, but you're actually just being who you want to be.
I don't know, because it's another put down on women. I mean, I don't know, do men call each other bitches? It is something that I see tossed out to women. So it's another way to, I agree, put down the woman who has her own beliefs and might be assertive and aggressive and speaking her mind. A man who does that is straightforward, noble, but I just learned something, that a bitch, I mean, I think we think of it as a female dog, but guess what? It's also a female wolf, fox, or otter.
Oh, foxy
bitch.
That's interesting, right?
So it is.
These are well revered animals.
Well, they're kind of sneaky animals, huh? Otter, sneaky, fox, sneaky, wolf, sneaky. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
So
we could go there.
I mean, things have such different meaning. I mean, when you look at the language being used, I mean, what I considered a curse word 30 years ago is, now everybody uses it so commonly that it's just doesn't have the meaning anymore. And so many of these words are very anti-female, anti-women. Just I mean, you think about some of the worst words. But anyway, okay. So
we're just baffle gabbing right now.
You got it. You brought out a new word again. Gacking.
Baffle gab. It's jargon-filled talk that sets out to clarify something, but ends up only confusing things. And I think that's a perfect word for what we're doing sometimes. Baffle gabbing.
You know, it's funny because I was on LinkedIn the other day and I was reading somebody's profile and it was filled with so much jargon that I didn't know what the person did. So that's a good word, because I mean we all work in our own little industry, our own little thing, and we throw out words and it's like, well, a lot of people don't know what the hell that means. So
yeah,
good
yeah,
word.
it's really getting clear. It's getting clear on what we want to say instead of just sort of turning the faucet on and just letting all this bablative stuff come out.
Babbling, to babble.
Yeah.
Babble.
Babblery. Babblery is a real word. And it just means, yeah, it means gossiping or prattling conversation, just chatter. So babblery. It's quite a lovely
word.
We're
good at that. We're very good at that.
Very good at that. But as we move on, I want to bring in this word because I just mentioned it earlier, but she's warm in here. Yep. It's that time of the day. Is beliefs. This is my favorite word that can change your life. And we talk about limiting beliefs. We talk about beliefs that you can change. We talk about the root cause of some of the problems or the behavioral issues that you might have today, whether it is I was going to say procrastination, but then constipation came to my head because that's my babblery inside my head.
C is next word.
I know.
C is next week.
We're not going to talk about that, but yeah, beliefs. What are your beliefs? I just want to touch on the work that I'm doing with hypnotherapy because it just exudes into so much of our lives, is to really understand what our beliefs are and why we have reactions to, why we are triggered, why we are activated. All of it comes down to what our beliefs are, how we grew up, how we were conditioned, what we believe, what we intend, what our expectations are. And so if you want to make any change in your lives or any transformation, you have to understand what you want to change. And it comes down to what those root causes are, which are just smothered in our beliefs. And so really understanding what our beliefs are is it's work, because we have hundreds of beliefs. And so many of them were formed at a young age, between the age of 1 and 7, and have carried on into our adulthood and have led our minds to make us act in a certain way and feel in a certain way, whether or not it's good for us or whether or not it's
okay. All right. Enough babbling. Now apply that.
Now apply that.
I want you to apply that. So tell me one of your beliefs or what you were raised with and how you might have changed that.
So I had a conversation with a friend here this morning about the beliefs of a parent and their home, a mom's beliefs. And so I ended up talking about mine, which I think every mother will sort of resonate in one way or another, is that the rooms, the bedrooms, the house has to be in a certain order for life to go on, for your day to go through. Now, some of us have different standards. So as I started seeing myself getting frustrated when my kids were much younger and having to have the house a certain way, I want it cleaned up, because before kids, it was like the way I wanted. After kids, it was the way I didn't want, because there were toys and things were out of place. And so I had to look really hard into that. Why am I getting so frustrated? Because things are out of place. And as I looked to my beliefs, as you can look to your beliefs, why is it important for you to have a clean home? Well, my belief was that successful mothers have a clean home. Go figure. And so by what is success? That is somebody who runs a house, who makes the food, the mom, cleans up, does everything, like overdoes everything. So I really had to let those standards drop. And that's where I looked at that belief system and said, no, it doesn't have to be a clean house. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know where I got that message, but when I was younger, that's the message that I got from watching my mom and being involved in that. So busting through the belief and just letting the standards go. And now, like, to me, my new belief is a messy house means you have love in your household and with your family. Kids are playing. So that's just a little application. I don't know. Does it work?
Well, you reframed it, and that's like when I talk about like myth deconstruction. You define it. You know, what's that belief, and then you ask yourself if that's really true, and then you work on redefining it and rewriting that belief. So
Yeah. Good.
you've just walked us through that process.
I feel like I'm bewitched.
Ooh, that's an interesting word too, isn't it?
You know what? I've got a word for you. I'm going to throw one at you because this is not one of my favorite words. And I know that you're an expert in the field. This is a word and I run from it all the time. I never have a good relationship with it. I don't believe in it sometimes. That's another great word when we just talked about it.
Now I'm
Is this
curious.
word, it's a 6-letter word that starts with B and ends with T. Can you guess it? That a lot of women don't have a relationship with. You want me to say?
Yeah.
Budget.
Yes, well, that's interesting because February, Gutsy Women Finances, it's Budget Love Month.
Yeah.
And to me, it's Friday. So Friday is Finance Friday, personally Finance Friday, every Friday morning, almost every Friday morning. I sit down and I look at my money, I update what I use for my Excel spreadsheets, my checking registers. I look at my business, I transfer money. And I just wrote this article because one of the things I was looking for is like statistics, like what percentage of Americans, I guess you could say Canadians too, have budgets, and it's all over the board depending on who did the study, anywhere from 30% have them to 70% have them. But it's like we think of budgets all wrong in our heads because we see, like you were talking about what you learned growing up. Now, if your mom was handling the budget, did your mom handle the budget? You don't know.
I don't think anyone handled the budget.
Okay. But for people who have memories of like growing up, they often envision their mom or their dad sitting at the dining room table with a little calculator, maybe their reading glasses on and frowning and sighing. And then afterward, the kid gets told, well, no, you can't have the new shoes this week, maybe next month. So that's what people think of when they think of budget. So it's not a pleasant thing. And one of the things that I talk about is just changing the way you think about it from, so a budget is used to control my expenses to a budget is actually a savings tool. So like what I tell people is you got a pot of money, first you put the money into savings, and I don't really care how you use the rest.
Yeah.
But it's about priorities. A budget is about priorities. So Janine, what are your top 3 spending priorities?
Well, when we talk about spending priorities, the first thing is like food. And the second thing is heating up here.
Okay.
And the third thing is my car, gas, so I can get places. So that leaves nothing.
Well, so that's like, those are like your basics. So like you've got like a Maslow's hierarchy, so you got to first pay attention to your essential needs, but then people start growing their income and then they start spending more. So, when I've talked to folks like this one woman, she said, she wanted some coaching, and she said, well, are you going to tell me that I have to cut my restaurant budget? How much money I'm spending dining out? And I said, well, it's about priorities. If you're going to do this, then you may have to cut somewhere else. You have to decide. I can't make that decision for you. And by the way, she had a daughter who would only eat at Wendy's restaurants. wouldn't eat any food from home, wouldn't eat at another restaurant. So that was, I mean, can you imagine that? So, there's a lot of issues that are going
There's a
on
lot.
there because sometimes as a mom, you want the best for your kids, but sometimes you're making sacrifices to what you should be doing to make sure the kid gets the things that they don't really need and that maybe not. I mean, I'm just going to go out there and say eating at Wendy's every day for every meal is probably not a good idea.
Well, it's not a good idea. What was that McDonald's movie that he ate there
Oh
for a month?
yeah. Oh yeah. Supersize Me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah. But a budget is it's about priorities and it's about, first save, pay yourself first.
I like
But
that. I like your Friday, Financial Friday Fun Day.
yeah,
I'm
it
gonna,
can be Money
I'm gonna do that.
Monday, Saving Saturday. But if I don't have a day set out to do it, I don't do it. And so by having like, okay, Friday morning's gonna come, and if I've gotten too busy and I haven't done it, it weighs on my mind all day long. I got it. Okay, I'll do it Saturday morning, but I Friday morning, do it. Put it on the calendar.
Hey, that's a brave undertaking for doing budget work for beautiful women all over the world,
Oh
like
my God.
myself,
Woo!
right?
Well,
Because I run away from budgets and I let it accrue, and then a month or two. And this is the thing, the denial of it. Yeah, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it later. I'll just keep transferring money over and over. So beautiful takeaway today to be able to, come weekly and just oversee it. So there are no huge surprises.
it's about empowerment. So even when, I mean, you and I have talked about personal finances. So, not every week is a great week. Not every month is a great month, but to stay on top of it makes me in charge of my money. Otherwise, the money takes charge of me.
Yeah.
But it's like anything else, like, putting something off, putting it off because you don't want to look at it.
Denial. Yeah.
Denial, the queen of denial.
Denial. Okay, so if there's anybody watching and you have a day of the week that you do that, let us know. And if you don't, just throw it in there. I'm here now. I'm going to ask for accountability from my partner and cohort, Brenda, I'm going to do my budget work today. I'm going to go through it and update it, and I might leave crying, and that's okay. It's just it's awakening.
But you don't, because I mean, that's what I always think too. Like, okay, I have to pull out money out of here and do this. And what it does is it leaves me, okay, well, I am making decisions, and it doesn't leave you crying. It leaves you crying when you wait for 3 months and then you've got a bill that you can't pay. That's crime.
We. It's true. Crime. Okay, awesome. Okay, so do you have any other B words up your sleeve words?
I want you threw this out at the very beginning. Bodacious. What does that mean to you?
Oh, audacious. I did. It's a word that is just, for me, like when there's two things with words. One is the actual meaning and one is the sound of the meaning. And I know there's a word for that, how the word sounds, like bubbles, do you know that word, what it sounds like, what it is? There's
Bubbles, B-U-B-B-L-E-S?
No, but there's a linguistic. No, there's a term. There's a grammatical term for when you say a word and it sounds like the word you're saying, like audibly, like bubble, right? I'll get back to whatever that word is, but I'll put it in the post. But there is a word. So bodacious for me, it's like bodacious. It just means delicious and big and bold and beautiful and stepping into your power and being alive. That's what bodacious means, but it's a fun word. It's a playful word.
It is fun.
What does it mean to you?
It gets thrown around so much that I looked at it and it's like, excellent, really cool, terrific. That's really bodacious. But for some reason, I have it connected to sort of the fashion world, and I think about clothing I don't know why. I don't know why I think that, but I I don't know. I mean, bodacious, bodacious.
Okay, I'm looking it up right now as we.
BODACIOUS. I like spelling. You know what I think is one of the sexiest traits for any potential partner
uh,
is spelling. When he cannot spell, it drives me nuts. I think spelling is one of the most attractive traits there is.
isn't that just beautiful?
It's funny.
Beautiful.
It's funny.
It's interesting.
People tease me all the time because I'll be like, oh, well, yeah, but he can't distinguish his theirs. He uses their wrong, and they'll laugh at me. It's like,
Done.
well, it's important.
Bodacious means, check this out. If you put bold and audacious together, you get bodacious. And then you add in some brazen. Sometimes it can mean attractive and sexy as well. So the adjective bodacious is probably a word, a blend of those two words,
Okay,
bold
so
and
I got
audacious.
something for you.
Okay.
Give me a B word that describes how your week went. Don't lie. I know how your week went.
I know. I'm thinking. You too. Okay, we're going to think here for a second, and if you
Okay.
guys have any comments out there that you're,
Okay.
I'm going to. My week went. It was buzzing. It was a buzzable week. Bedazzling week. That's what it was, because I got bedazzled left, right, and center. Yeah. What are you doing? Are you looking up words? Are you cheating? You are.
I can't think of a B word to say what I want to say, but I'm listening.
Oh.
I'm listening.
Oh. But yeah, it was like bedazzling. I had some really good moments. I did a lot of learning. I met up with some really great clients, my first overseas clients. I got to really get involved and connect and network. So that was bedazzling to me, because it's a passion. Look at you, still bolderizing yourself. But that's not it. What about you? Tell me how your week went.
I can't find the right B word. The closest I can get, and this isn't right either, burnout. Now, it's not burnout, but it's been overwork. So like today, I have 4 more Zooms. I have 4 Zooms in 2 hours, 4 Zoom calls in 2 hours. And so, most of my work has been content creation, doing stuff. And now I've got to connect with some folks and line up Zoom calls. And it's like, it's been an exhausting week. I mean, like, I got to take a nap in the middle of the day. So I don't know a good B word, because I'm not burned out. I am
bummed.
Bummed. B-U-M-M. Maybe more bombarded. I'm bombarded.
Bombed. Yeah, bombarded. Yeah, there you go. See, it takes 2 brains sometimes to think of one multiple syllabic word.
Yeah. I'm also getting, let's see, I can't find a B word for this. Maybe you can help me. So I'm like a little over 2 weeks away from leaving my island home, and I have to get started on the road again. And I always feel a bit anxious as this time to leave approaches. I mean, 9 months of the year, I'm traveling. I get used to it. I get on that pace. But after sitting on an island for 3 months, I have those like, not doubts, but a little bit of anxiety, because I'm about to switch things up again. So
with that doubt and anxiety, is there little confusion or lack of clarity?
So when I'm out there, like I said, when I travel, it's like 80% excitement and 20% terror. 20% of, like, oh my God, what's going on? What am I doing? I got to drive this thing. Please let the tires hold. Let the traffic be okay. But after sitting on the island for so long, it goes like maybe a 50-50. So things start to get, oh, I haven't driven this. Can I remember how to hitch up? I got to get my Jeep in a certain mode to do this. And now I got to be on, so And it's just, our own, this is what happens when we get used to whatever our life is. And people say, step outside the comfort zone. And I'm excited. I love travel, but I always get a little bit anxious. I'm starting to feel that seep in, but you got a B word. What is that? What is a B word? Okay, go.
Bewildered.
Ooh, I like that. Plus, I'm going
And so
into
that
the
we don't go too,
wilderness.
what's that?
I'm going into the wilderness again.
Yeah.
I'm bewildered.
Be wilderness. Well, it's time. It's time to set the bees aside and move on to the C's next week. But I think that it was really, we began a brilliant conversation, although sometimes it was a little bablative, but awesome, bodacious, and bold at the same time, and brave. It's brave. We're being brave, badass, believing women. And so
Great.
with
Well, you
that,
want to talk about what you got coming up? You want to get something you want people to know about with all your fun stuff with your business?
well, speaking about beliefs, what I could say is that I'm offering hypnotasters, and that is really looking at your belief system and changing them. As I'm moving into RTT therapist, rapid transformational therapy, that's when we can do the deep dive. But I'm offering little tasters, and I'm actually, getting pretty busy with it. So if you're interested in a hypnotaster, let me know. I'm
Cool.
offering.
Cool. Well, I'm about building financial freedom. And just this morning, I made an announcement because I have three scholarships, three scholarships for the Financial Freedom Academy, help you build financial freedom. And I'm going to put a link to that scholarship
Great.
application. They're due February 26th, and I make the announcement February 27th. And the Academy walks you through step by step how to build financial freedom and design your dream life. So that's
awesome.
Great.
That is bodacious.
It is. It's a bold plan, and I really want people to
Brilliant.
take charge of their money, build
Brilliant
financial freedom,
opportunity.
believe in yourself, be bold.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for joining in, and we'll see you next week. It's over and out from Janine in the Yukon with my beautiful flowers.
And it's over and out from Brenda with my 3 sleeping cats somewhere in the RV from Texas. You guys take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.